Chains, Part 4. Written by dhonash. Narrated by Vern Henderson. It occurred to me that approaching her without triggering some sudden shriek would be difficult. I whispered a warning about my presence and held my breath, waiting for some shocked exclamation to bring the world down on us. To my surprise, her reply was steady and level-headed. She said her head was bleeding and that she couldn't see straight. Apparently those maniacs kept the same methods. I told her I was wounded too, but mostly able-bodied. I was about to tell her how to wiggle out of the restraints when I heard the irate screeches of one of the other captors. I didn't recognize the voice, but I could tell that it was coming from the direction of my cell. They knew I was on the loose, but they didn't know that I had a thirsty hacksaw and about a day's worth of fresh fungus to fuel my wrath. I told the woman that they were coming this way and that I would kill the next one I saw. She quailed mildly for a moment and told me to get her free. There was no time. I heard the crazed freak nearly sprinting down the corridor. I put my back against the wall and waited till I caught sight of him. As he rounded the corner in my direction, I whipped the iron support arc of the hacksaw somewhere between his neck and face. My blood ran cold and a searing pain shot through my arm. I heard the clatter of my impromptu blade against the concrete and then a hideous snap. My blood ran cold and a searing pain shot through my arm. I heard the clatter of my impromptu blade against the concrete and then a hideous snap. My captor had made the mistake of trying to stop this uncontrolled fall with one hastily outstretched hand. He skidded across the ground and let out a low groan, the type that can only come involuntarily from someone who is already at the end of their breath. I saw him try to grasp at the injured arm, which, because of its newly gained angle, was now in a completely different location. Darkly, a plan formulated. I ran over to him, threw all my weight in the air, lifted my knees to my chest, and stomped my feet straight down onto his splintered arm. He skidded around for a moment before his eyes rolled back into his head and he started to seize uncontrollably. The cruelty of my actions, which before this predicament would have been unthinkable, played only briefly on my mind as I finished up by kicking his head against the stone wall. He was still, maybe forever. The heart-pounding silence was broken by the woman in the cell urgently whispering for an update. I heard the door above, the one to the spiral staircase. It began to squeak open.